You ready?
We're gonna win because
Darth
Darth is
okay.
gonna. Darth, don't blow yourself
don't
up!
do it! You got so much to live for!
Darth, don't do it.
Okay.
Alright, blow it.
While I was away, one of my most anticipated PSVR2 titles came out, and that was Firewall Ultra. Now, I was very excited for this, but there were a number of red flags leading up to launch, such as no review codes for creators, not many early access periods for, press and creators to have a look at the game, a lack of substantial trailers, some choppy frame rates and weird visuals in the trailers, and some weird choices in terms of mechanics. A lot of choices that make a game not feel VR AF, as we like to say. So when hopping in for the first time, I was very surprised to find that I actually love this game. However, I can't recommend it in its current state, which really sucks.
Shit, yep.
Contact, yep.
Oh, he's blind firing around the corner, you bastard. Got him.
Buried underneath many technical glitches, hitches, and issues is a really fun, solid game with a progression system that will keep you hooked, a tactical gameplay loop with lots of teamwork that I've really been missing on PSVR2.
Oh, yeah. Got one in the right window. There's one near the laptop still, I think. Find you, Weedy Blitz. Got him.
Well done.
Oh, there's one more?
Yeah, he's down though, he's down, I think. Or he's dead, I'm not sure.
No, yeah, the timer scouted me down, there's no one left.
Oh shit, okay, let's go. Yeah, there we go. Amazing round, guys.
Firewall 0 Hour on the PSVR1 was the only tactical game of its kind, and this is essentially a straight port of that game with upgraded visuals, some map reworks, and some operator reworks, and a couple new great features. Firewall is a Rainbow Six Siege-like game where it's a 4v4, it's a best of 3 round system with a very slow pace, focused on teamwork, breaching buildings, clearing rooms, hacking a laptop, and basically defusing a bomb. And if you defuse it, you win, you get money, you win the round. If you win 2 rounds, you win the game. If you die in the round, you're dead. And if you die, you go onto the cameras to then assist your teammates by calling out enemy positions. This works incredibly well as a gameplay loop on its own. And Firewall Ultra now has dedicated servers, which Firewall 0 Hour never had. And I do happen to love everything that this game brings to the table, and it feels so cool to play. So I'm going to split this video into 2 sections. The first one is going to be gushing over everything that is wonderful about Firewall Ultra that I absolutely love, and the second half we're going to fire through a load of issues that really hold this game back from its full potential.
No, hold on. I'm holding. Hold on. Let him.
Yeah, okay, so through the door, there's one on the left, one on the right, looking directly in. They're like 90 degrees either way. They've shot the cam out. Throw it towards the left once you open the door.
Oh, hold on.
He'll have to run.
Push.
One more down, let's go.
Revive me. Asian, revive me.
And I got you. You two push up.
Push. Push to his
You're back up, let's go.
Yeah.
One remaining.
Pushing into laptop room.
Yeah, he's down. Watch out for mines.
Well then, you managed to locate a laptop.
Is that a mine?
We can
Oh no, we're good. Way, good stuff, guys. That was sick.
But first, as I said, let's start with the fun stuff. First of all, the round system is great. The old game used to have 1 round and then you'd have to sit in the lobby for a while. Now the lobbies are only 30 seconds for a countdown. It wasn't like this at launch, but now it is, with an update that came out yesterday in the time of recording. So you only wait 30 seconds in a lobby, you jump into a game, you do 3 rounds, which lasts a fair while, and then you're back into the lobby for 30 seconds if the lobby's full, and you're back into another game, which is great.
I do quite like the character models, they're pretty cool, not
You
gonna
can
lie.
also just randomly twirl your knife.
How does one do
Yeah,
this?
people were saying they look
With
bad.
What,
And then
really?
you can switch it around with the grip button.
Ah. Oh, that's cool. I like that.
The visuals of Firewall are absolutely stunning. In terms of fidelity, they're pretty damn great, but what really sells it is the lighting. This game is built in Unreal 5, and the lighting looks real. Areas are properly dark, and when you illuminate them with a torch and cast shadows, or you're in the office space, for an example, and you see light pouring through windows, those areas feel absolutely real. It sells that you're there, and seeing your teammates creep through these buildings with you makes you feel like you're in these situations. There's not many games that make me feel this way on PSVR2. Another one is Resident Evil 8, and also certain areas in Horizon Call of the Mountain. but Firewall genuinely sells the feeling of being there in so many of its environments, and the artistic designers behind this game in terms of visuals have absolutely blown me away with how good this game looks.
Oh, that light's cool. That's neat. I like that. Oh, this is nice, this lighting. Holy shit.
So I don't want to do this one last.
This is sick with the torchlight, I'm not gonna lie to you.
As I said, the game is very dark. I personally think that's a good thing. It's a lot darker than the old game, which, leans into using flashlights to either illuminate areas, but also give your position away, or you can turn off your flashlight, go dark, try and see in the dark, and ambush your enemies because they have no idea that you're there. It leads to some very cool moments when you're trying to creep through areas, and your teammate tells you to turn your lights off, and you go dark, and you push in.
Door here.
I think I hear movement, be careful.
Torches off, torches up.
Yep.
Stuff like this really leans into the tactical slow pace of Firewall, which I absolutely love, and making pushes like these with a full squad that's communicating is some of the most satisfying gameplay you'll ever have on the PSVR2 headset.
I need.
See them both. 2 down.
Nice, bro.
Oh, one more behind me.
Any good PvP tactical game needs good sound design too, and luckily, here they're great. Gunfire is incredibly impactful and loud, grenades go off with a ferocious bang, coupled with some amazing VFX work, and sounds of footsteps are easily readable too. For example, I was chilling in a bottom floor, could hear some footsteps above, and sure enough, my teammate upstairs was engaged shortly after I called that out.
I hear footsteps above.
I see one on nap time.
Nice job, man.
There are some really awesome features for eye tracking too, like selecting your weapon wheel or your menus, which is really cool. I didn't like it at first as well, but there is also eye tracking for grenade throwing, so you look where you want to throw your grenades. For me, that was a little weird to get used to, but once I got used to it, it does feel quite natural. Also coupled with eye tracking are the flashbang and torch systems. You can close your eyes if a flashbang comes into the room, and it'll essentially nullify the flashbang effects, meaning you can open your eyes and be ready to engage again. Same with torches. If somebody points a torch in your face, it will blind you, but if you close your eyes and they move the torch away, you'll automatically readjust back to normal lighting, which I think is awesome. These things are really immersive, and they're very reactive to the player. It's a natural thing you do, and it's cool that you're being rewarded for that through the use of eye tracking.
Use the flashbang. Close your eyes.
Ah, so that's me closing my eyes. I'm not going to close my eyes.
Flashbang. Close your eyes.
Ow. Okay. So can I also? Oh my god. Okay.
Also, it's always nice to see eye tracking with other players' eyes too, which is in this game. Just like Pavlov, you can see when your players are looking around and in which directions they're looking. I'll get onto reloading in a bit in the negatives, but gunplay overall is very good. Weapons feel punchy, they sound punchy, the haptics are very, very cool, and there's quite a bit of weapon selection, even if they do take a while to unlock, which is great. With a bunch of classes for you to try out from the get-go that are pre-unlocked and pre-kitted out with different equipment. So there you go, I've gushed over this game for that long. Firewall Ultra, for all of those reasons, is incredibly enjoyable for me. But let's get on to the bad stuff, and unfortunately there is quite a bit of it really weighing this game down, but if all of this gets sorted, this game will be a must-buy for me, it really will be. But let's start off with what I mentioned earlier, reloading. Reloading is done with a button, which is the least immersive thing I can think of. You push X and your gun reloads itself. Your hands move on their own, and I really am not a fan of that. Same for interacting with objects around the environment. If you want to hack the laptop, you don't go up and push in the buttons yourself like you do with the C4 in Pavlov. No, you go up to it and you hold L1 and you see a little animation play in terms of a ring, and the ring fills up, and then the hack is started. There's not really any interactivity there, and it's the same with doorways too. That is the most unimmersive thing I can think of, and I'm not a fan. Same with the ADS mode. In any other VR shooter, you lift your gun up to your eye line, you look through, and you shoot with the scope. But in Firewall, you can hold down L2, the sight snaps to your right eye line, and it goes into this weird ADS mode that I'm really not a fan of. Now, I don't actually use this mode. It's fine to completely ignore it and play the game normally, which is how I play. However, I'm pretty sure this ADS mode from my testing has decreased recoil and decreased bloom, so it literally is an advantage to use it, even though it doesn't feel natural at all. And half the time the weapon sights are completely misaligned when I push down the L2 button and it raises to my eye line. Those are some of the issues that I can dive into in depth, but let's reel off a bunch of quickfire issues that really bring the game down too. Right. As of recording, I can't matchmake with friends, which sucks. Matchmaking sometimes doesn't work at all and you're stuck in a lobby for upwards of 30 minutes. When you equip things and attachments to weapons, they don't show up when you've done so, meaning you'll kit out an entire weapon and it'll still look like the base model with no attachments on it. Progression takes absolutely ages, and I didn't even get past level 1 after 2 hours of straight playing. The assignments are meant to assist this, but they're not unlocked yet. Furthermore, you can't even see your friendly player levels in the lobby, they all show up as 0. On certain maps, especially on social, there is horrendous amounts of visual pop-in when going around corners, and enemies are even highlighted further away because they haven't rendered in properly, and they're literally outlined in white, which make them incredibly easy to see and ruins balance. Physical crouching doesn't work all the time, sometimes you get stuck midway through the crouching, and it puts you back to the standing position. Spotting enemies with eye tracking also doesn't work yet, meaning that you'll be looking straight at an enemy and most of the time, it won't ping them for your teammates to see, which kind of ruins the entire point of having the camera eye tracking system, meaning you have to call out verbally, which won't be too bad, but this was one of the features that was advertised when the game was shown off. Eye tracking to switch weapons and menus sometimes doesn't register and is misaligned completely, meaning you have to look well above where you really want to look naturally to access a menu option. Sometimes UI elements stay on screen, such as your downed health bar after death, meaning you can't watch the full camera view because you've got a health bar in the middle of it that doesn't even drain because it's just stuck there from your previous down screen. Being downed is also in third person, which isn't too bad, but it has what feels like a 2-second delay after you're revived that keeps you in third person, meaning you have a delay getting back into the action, and more often than not are completely disoriented and will probably be killed straight after again. Sometimes enemy players in the starting lobby of a match will register as friendlies instead, meaning you'll look over at the enemy side and there'll be a white outline, meaning the game won't start, leading it to think there's a 5v3 situation, which isn't even possible. Not to mention, there's numerous netcode issues at the moment with players not being in sync, meaning you'll run behind cover, think you're safe, and then die by somebody because on their screen, you're still in the open and ready to be shot at. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Firewall Ultra. I've split this video, obviously, into good things and bad things. There are a lot of negatives at the moment for this game, but there's real potential underneath all of this for a game that is an absolute system seller for PSVR. It looks amazing, a lot of the time it feels amazing to play, it just needs everything ironed out and polished. And there are a couple of issues that were raised in the original game that are just the same here, like the progression system. It feels like there's enough content progression here to last a year of playing, but not because there's loads of content, but because the progression is so slow. This was the same case in the first game too, and this just hasn't been rectified for the sequel. It does feel very much like Firewall 1.5, and to be honest, I'm okay with that. I absolutely loved Firewall, its premise and its gameplay, and it's been brought over to the new headset in an amazing looking new engine, but it just needs that polish and the fixes to these issues I've brought up in the video, and a bunch of other issues that people are listing over on Reddit, Discord, and all the other forums. If you have played Firewall Ultra, please let me know what you think about it. I will be covering this game more in the future because I truly do enjoy it. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video.
Getting
Like,
spammed.
why are you running?
Oh fuck. They're coming into our container, lads.
Watch your back.
Yo, I'm stuck. I can't.
Oh fuck.